Hi.
Welcome back to Ok Aussie, Matt and Dyan. How you going?
Having a snack.
Having a snack. Thought we'd join you.
Okay.
Okay. That's like,
What's
because
the
it's,
deal?
well, it's about food, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Avoidant and restrictive.
Oh God, I'm avoidant
Food.
to everything.
Intake disorder.
I have PDA.
ARFID. And you have PDA, which is not problems of public affection, but
I know.
pervasive
my
demand
doctor
avoidance.
gets it confused every time.
I think he teases you purposely on that one
I
myself.
think he thinks that I have an issue with,
Oh, you've got issues. He knows that.
being nice to people because I'm a bit naughty.
Yep. So this is your main meal for tonight. It's currently 6:16 p.m.
I just decided I was hungry. I decided this is what I want to eat.
Absolutely. Which is what exactly?
This is
Please
turning
explain.
into a common thing, actually.
Again.
Anyway, it looks like rabbit food, but I do have
Rabbit! It's rabbit season!
So gastroparesis is
what?
difficult.
Gastroparesis, which is a gastroenterological
Paralysing
issue.
stomach, so it's not totally paralysed.
Mobility issue. Yep.
But it's
Comes hand in hand with
there.
EDS, early
It's
stand loss, and
getting
particularly 22q11.2 deletion syndrome. But
basically,
you're
no.
very particular about what you eat.
Yeah,
Incredibly.
ask my family about that. That was
Lifelong
dinner
issue.
table fun.
But because of 22q, you have this thing called autism. Shock or a gasp.
Yes, I
And
have
with
issues.
it goes hand in hand.
Many issues.
Eating problems. Explain. So this is what particularly...
Don't touch my
Oh,
food.
I'm not touching your food.
Stop.
Because that'll do your OCD
Your
right
skin
off the top of
cells
the
are
list.
flying around the room, and it's rather inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay.
You do have certain processes that you like and dislike, being
I am
autistic.
very fussy.
Very
if
fussy.
I am not watching TV while eating,
Yep.
can't eat.
So I've paused the TV. How's that going for you?
Well, I've stopped eating. Have you noticed?
I'm so sorry. Can we imagine that this is the TV? You watch the TV whilst you're eating. We're just going to watch you eat.
Did you know that I was anorexic because of that?
People watching you eat.
Yeah, I couldn't eat in public.
Did you know that 20 to 25% of autistic females will be anorexic?
I know, because I was one of
Have
them.
some sort of eating disorder.
I was one of them.
You're one of them, absolutely.
But basically, when that passed, that's
Yeah.
just social anxiety. But I grew out of that.
Yeah.
But basically, my reasons for food problems is one, high palate.
That's a 22q thing.
There is a lot
Absolutely.
of foods
Cleft palate, high
that
palate.
just don't feel good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
So
you add sensory issues.
So the texture-related issues.
There's
being
texture
sensory.
issues.
Mhm.
So I choose
So
certain
it's what?
foods.
Hardness, crunchiness, those sort of things?
It's hard to explain because it's got to be the right kind of crunch, not like a crunch that actually causes like shards of glass to stab your gums in the roof of your mouth.
Very
To
distracting.
the point where, including vinegar, you gave me salt and vinegar chips.
I did
And
yesterday.
it burnt the top of my mouth.
Okay.
That I had skin peel off this morning.
From your salt and vinegar chips. Wow. That's a very gentle and sensitive upper palate that you have.
It is, right?
Salt and
Anyway,
vinegar chips are yum, by the way.
So
Of those.
we do have disordered eating is really how I describe it, because it's not an eating disorder, I don't
But
think.
avoidant
Because it's not
and
on
restrictive.
purpose.
So ARFID is
So-
those two components. Which parts are you avoidant of and
Well,
what's
I'm
restrictive?
restrictive because of OCD. So I kind of like think, okay, well, I've had my typical foods of the day.
Yep, I understand.
As if like showering and you shampoo your hair once.
Routine.
And you can condition your hair once. I don't consider, well, then what else do I need food-wise?
Okay, same concept.
And even if my stomach's going,
That's your analogy.
"Grrr," I won't register because of interoception.
Ah, another autistic trait, interoception, where you don't know the internal
Unless
states of your body. Hungry, thirsty,
I
tired,
say,
pain.
oh, I feel a bit like funny or whatever, and you'll say to me, well,
Yeah.
not now anymore because we know of this, but
Yep.
in the past you used to say to me, what have you eaten today? And I'd
Funny about
go,
that. Correct.
3 o'clock, I've eaten nothing.
So as a carer and as your partner of
I've
33
eaten
years,
nothing.
I've got to know you intricately very well.
Well, my pattern
I have
was...
to monitor your food intake
Okay,
and
so
fluid
my
intake.
avoidance was,
Yeah.
when my children were small, like any parent, well, not like any parent, like an autistic parent,
Okay.
your hyper focus is your children.
Sure.
Feeding them.
Your special interest.
And your special
Yeah,
interest.
got to feed them, otherwise they die.
Feeding them,
Yeah, very
supervising
important.
them, making sure that everything is age appropriate.
Yeah, I get it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I just didn't even think of eating.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind. That it would get to 3 o'clock and I'd go, okay, maybe I should eat something.
Has that trait
novel.
carried on even now that your children have grown up, left the nest?
Yeah, because I would wait until...
You're 50.
Yeah, because when they were older, so to put in perspective that routine that was locked in, from
Locked in
think of
routine.
0 till they were, school age, you pick them up from school around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
They have school snack. I have
So that's where your sequencing and timing things came into play.
I'd either have lunch just before I pick them up, which is just before 3, because I live very close to the school that my kids went to.
Yep.
Or I'd eat with them when they had their school snack.
And I totally understand that, where it's come
that
from.
routine
has continued
as a familiar routine that I like.
Routines
Also,
of Autistics.
I'm PDA, meaning I'm not a breakfast person.
Demand avoidant.
Unless I'm on holiday and it's like...
It is very hard to get breakfast into you. Now, you do rice bubble and yogurt.
Yeah, but
so that's a forced thing that I forced to put into your morning routine. Yeah.
But before that, before you were supervising me...
Yeah, I was supervising. I'm the only adult in the house, apparently.
I was a no breakfast person, which
Cup of
means...
coffee?
Oh, coffee.
Given.
That's not even...
Debatable.
Don't even bring that
Not negotiable.
That is not appropriate.
Okay, sure.
That is a always
I don't think
thing.
it's a food group, but we'll go with it anyway.
Even as a child, I'm like, Mum, can I finish it?
Sure. But
She'd
now,
let me finish her coffee.
even now you're restricted. You're only allowed to have 1 coffee a day. You may have a
My
non-caffeinated
mum was
tea,
restricting me
rhubarb.
as a child.
Ah.
I was a coffee grabber. If anyone put their coffee down and I knew
With your
they
ADHD,
may not return,
not
because
surprised.
it was traditional. Look, it was probably the coffee back in those days.
Yeah, sure.
The little residuals, obviously crap. But I always used to be like, can I finish it, Mum? And I'd finish her coffee.
Right.
So anyway, I'm drawn to coffee day one.
Sure.
Back to the breakfast.
Back to
I'm
the
not
breakfast.
a
Not a breakfast person.
unless I'm
I
on
attest to
holiday.
that. Absolutely.
Then if I'm on holiday,
Yeah,
it's
different
buffet.
routine. It's buffet breakfast.
I'm all in.
However, how does that
I'm
have
gonna
an
go
impact
for
on
the
you, though?
savoury first and then the sweet.
Okay. But that has an effect on you because of your GI tract issues, your gastroparesis.
I pay for it later, but I take
She
it happily
pays
because
for
it's
it.
holidays.
Okay, so holiday mode, different mentality, different
But when
routine.
it's not holiday mode,
Which is our everyday life, in other words.
now I have physical aversion to food because of gastroparesis.
Right.
The pain, the suffering, the
And
vomiting.
GI issues are probably
everything
relevant to
is-
about 20% of autistics.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
So basically, I had disordered eating as a child.
Mhm.
I had to be supervised as a child with
Yep.
food.
Or even fluid. You forgot
And
to actually
fluid.
drink fluid.
Yeah, so at
You're
the age
hospitalised for
group
that,
of
yeah.
basically when other kids just know to keep drinking,
Yep.
interoception, right?
Uh-huh.
I wasn't drinking.
There's a bit of a triangle appearing of all of this, how
So,
interplays together,
I
isn't
also,
Yeah.
with food,
Mhm.
no touchy-touchy as a primary school student.
there? Sure.
And my mum
What does that mean, no
was
touchy-touchy?
non-tolerant to that,
You mean
naturally. 'cause
non-blending
X-generation
of
was just like,
foods?
well, I'm just saying X-generation, we were raised of like, a pea touched your mashed potato, grow the fuck up.
So
and I'm like, I'm trying to grow up,
things-
I'm trying.
You're trying really hard as a child, up to
No, but like if it touched,
Yeah,
and we didn't have those
Contaminated.
plates, guys. We did not have those plates with
Compartmentalised.
with the wall,
the Great Wall of China.
like the Great Wall, like
Yeah.
Trump wall.
Yeah, okay.
that he wants.
Yeah.
No, we
No.
did not have a wall.
No walls.
Anyway,
So
I
that was a big
squashed
deal.
the peas into the potato only
Yeah.
out of desperation
Okay.
to be able to leave the table before bedtime.
Well, you spent a lot of time sitting around the
Yes.
table with your
Because it ended up being
family supervising you
negotiations.
because you refused to eat.
We
Or
became
didn't finish it, yeah.
Well, we ended up having a negotiation situation.
So that was as a child, but here today,
I
and
had
I must
them by
admit, as a
hostage.
carer,
They had to negotiate with
it
me.
was a hostage situation.
They had to say,
I have to still
two
do that
mouthfuls
today.
of pumpkin, 2 mouthfuls of
to
peas,
keep a
2
nutritional
mouthfuls of
diet
squash.
going for you. And it's very difficult, it's very important because food is also nutritious, it's also
Anyway,
medicine in its
I'll
own
just
right.
stick to my nice food.
Okay, but what are you eating? So you have got sour cream and chive rice crackers
With a Nutella.
with a Nutella spread.
But
And
my gastroparesis dietitian says that
that's a good thing.
good calories.
Very good calories. It's a good way. Look, nuts themselves
Doesn't
are very
stop
good,
my
but you have
tract.
problems with the digestion of nuts. So putting it into a spread form
Is easier,
is
yeah.
another alternative. And you did
Because
look at
I can't
alternatives.
have nuts, as in like guys, I can't have bits of nuts,
Sure.
which is a bit of a problem with my eyes.
So let's have a look at what else you had for food today as well. Now, I did offer you the rice bubble and yogurts, but it was a no-go for breakfast this morning.
I didn't feel like it this morning.
You've
Also,
also
I'm not a breakfast
you're
person.
not a breakfast person
Do
today.
I have to say it again?
Yeah. You are on your electrolytes. That's a given every day. You have to have a bottle of electrolytes.
They're done.
Yep, you have
They're
your
done,
you have
and
your
they're-
coffee in the morning.
And I've got my 10 cents bottle in the bin.
We'll talk about the recycle process in another video really soon as well. We've gone all recycle.
I
so,
get real
yeah,
proud of myself
she
when I
is.
finish a bottle. I
It's a
go,
collection.
10
There you go.
cents!
She's achieving yet another collection, and
What-
that goes
what
back into art
question
supplies.
now?
So I'm just looking through what your diet had. You've had your electrolyte drink, you've had your coffee, strong coffee this
I
morning.
didn't have my rice.
You didn't have your rice bubbles and yogurt.
which
No.
is not good because I need the yogurt for my gut.
Yogurt's always a good thing,
Okay,
absolutely.
because I'm always on
Emphasis
antibiotics
A
because
and
I
B,
have
what it is,
immune
yeah.
system problems.
You do.
Then I need a lot of
You
yogurt.
did have rice crackers beforehand, but with
But I didn't finish it. But
No,
yeah,
you
with
didn't finish it.
Silverside
Silverside.
and hot sauce. Buffalo.
and a single slice of cheese as well.
Buffalo hot sauce.
You like the
isn't
buffalo sauce? It was actually. It was the buffalo
Yeah,
sauce. That was
buffalo
yummy.
hot sauce.
And of course, a touch of salt, because salt's very important for your diet because of the POTS, the postural orthostatic tachycardia
Yeah.
syndrome. You need additional
Except
salt
I've got to
in your
also
diet.
Be careful for other reasons of my heart.
For
So
heart,
it's a little bit conflicting.
there's a balancing issue.
Yeah, a bit
Absolutely.
conflicting.
After this, what do you think you'll have tonight for food?
Probably my drumstick.
Ice cream. Okay, so
Because ice cream
it's
is
like
my
a cornetto,
safe
so
food.
it's like a wafer with an ice cream.
But
in
ice
it.
cream
Yeah.
is my safe food. I mean,
Yeah.
the cornetto gluten bit is not.
No, but you enjoy the ice cream. It's more of a treat at the moment. Now, sometimes you have
Not meant
other
to be
types
eating
of
that.
foods. You'll
I'm a
have.
celiac. I'm not meant to be eating
No.
that, but I do pay for it.
You do pay for
But
it.
the problem is, life is short.
Life is short, but you need to get food. You need to get nutrition.
Yeah.
The alternative to that, when you lose too much weight, you have to consider things like the
Well, I don't want to be
NJ
tubed.
tubed
I
or
don't want to be
peg
pegged.
or anything like that.
So I have
So
to
it's
be
a balancing act
strong.
with
Have
gastroparesis,
to
isn't
be,
it?
Like,
You
yeah,
like
I
to
have
have
to-
lots
I
of
have to
small
force.
meals. You do have lots of small meals.
well, that's what they recommend.
That's a very
6 a day.
6 a day is better
6 to
than
8.
2 or 3 larger meals. So that's an interesting thing
Yeah,
as well.
so if you're having tummy problems of digestion.
Now, when it
have
comes to
6
the
to 8
restrictive
meals.
and avoidant process, what would you say that you avoid, apart from the separation of your food, like a military regime that it can't cross
Yeah,
the
no,
boundaries, needs a
it's
passport, and
more
can't touch the
about-
other type of food?
It's more about like it's part of routine. I think OCD comes into it.
We have seasonal routines, don't we, with food?
Absolutely.
Salads for summer mode,
like,
for
if
example.
he gives me my winter food in summer, I go,
Soups
"What
for
are you
winter."
doing, you idiot?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"You've been eating this for 6 months, quite happy." Because
Yep.
in Perth, we only have 2 seasons.
Yeah, we
Winter
do
and
at the
summer.
moment. Yeah.
Anyway, but
Forget autumn and
basically,
spring. Don't exist.
in,
Sorry.
in winter, right?
Yep.
To give you an example, pumpkin soup with vegetables,
True.
Dutch curry and vegetables,
Yeah.
tomato soup and vegetables.
So almost
The
two
soup is my
combinations.
thing.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't be
Summer
with my
mode,
dysphagia.
You
but
are
anyway,
having watermelon most days.
I still have watermelon in winter, but it's harder.
Salad
It's harder.
in summer mode.
But summer, I have salad.
Yep.
Of all different kinds. Salad dressings of all different kinds.
You're
and
very healthy. You
watermelon.
live off a lot of greens, which is really good.
Well, I was raised on healthy food.
Yeah, true.
And I used to eat capsicum like it was an apple.
Crazy.
It's good.
Weird.
I'd still do
It's
it
weird
now.
stuff.
Except my stomach would go with all the
What do you
ulcers.
miss from a food perspective?
What?
That's what I mean. What do you
Oh,
miss?
what do I miss?
What would you like to be able to eat?
Burgers, donuts,
Right.
breads.
All the takeaways, pizzas.
Muffins, carrot
Mm-hmm.
cake, chocolate cake, chocolate pudding, chocolate brownies.
Okay, I think we're on a roll. Got the
chocolate
idea.
slice.
Reel it in. Reel it in. Whew. Stressful. A lot of things you've missed out
But I
on.
can eat chocolate.
Yeah, but
But
again
it's
in
not the same
moderation,
as chocolate cake.
because too much sugar does feed infections and
and
urinary
even
infection
gluten-free
risk.
cake, guys. Don't even say that in the comments, because I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. It's still, look,
It binds.
it's easier,
Sure.
but it's a furball still.
So you do use concepts of things like the low FODMAP diet, gastroparesis
but it's
diet.
no diet is perfect.
You do look at things like the Atkins
guys.
diet. So you do look at
Keto
variations.
is
Keto's
good.
really useful, particularly for seizures.
2 reasons. For gastroparesis, look, it's tricky. I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
You can't eat the quantities of keto
Absolutely.
of others, because you will feel sick.
Yep.
High fats
Graze.
make you feel sick. Don't be stupid.
Yep.
Don't have high sweet food. Same thing's going to happen with gastroparesis. But what I will say is a small amounts of keto foods is good for, I feel, has been good for me for my gastroparesis and my seizures.
Yeah, it does help. Food is a drug in its own right.
Believe it.
And it changes the chemical balance inside your body. And we talk about the chemical balance in electrolytes, particularly which relate to triggering seizures.
Well, he told me to try the keto diet, and I laughed.
She laughs at me all the time. And then I get it right.
I take it back.
You take it back.
I do recommend, if you're an epileptic, try the keto diet.
Yep.
Try it. I know it's hard. And you can take a break from it. It's not like it's, you're going to have like one thing. So say if you don't have celiac, you're not going to, it's not a weight loss. When we talk about diets here, guys, we're not talking about anything weight loss.
No.
Anything weight gain.
No.
Unless you're gastroparesis, like I've been many times and underweight.
Okay. Now, with that, you've had to sometimes use things like the hospital drinks, which are meal replacement drinks, which obviously give enough calories
get them from chemists.
and energy. And they are very vitamin balanced, those supplements. So they are very useful to get. There's a range of different brands and flavours on the market. So you have those sort of things. Sorry, I'm interrupting your meal, but I thought it was a good opportunity to have a chat at the moment. My apologies. And I'm sorry you're not watching your TV, which is your routine, and it's part of being autistic. Is you have
and watch TV.
Very specific routines.
Watch TV and eat.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm camping, it's different.
Yep.
Because like I'll be staring at something beautiful.
Now I know you've laid down while we're having this conversation, because it's a more of a restive state. You're physically exhausted at the moment. You're run down. But to eat, you must sit up, because again, with dysphagia, which is part of a neurological condition for you, things just slow down. It can be very easy to choke and aspirate.
It's horrible, guys. Like it's scaring me.
So with the aspiration side of things, you do have to have certain thickness of fluids. So things are better thick rather than thin.
Yeah, I could put a thickener in. They've offered me that, haven't they? And I'm actually considering it.
Yep. But you normally have things at a certain thickness anyway, like soups or shakes or whatever else.
That's why I prefer my pumpkin soup compared to my Dutch curry and my tomato. Because Dutch curry and tomato are a lot thinner than pumpkin soup, as you can imagine.
Of course.
Potato soup or potato and leek soup I'd have. But guys, potato... I was telling Sir this the other day. I can eat fries in large quantities because it's mostly oil and it just glides through me, right? It doesn't get a furball.
Yep.
But basically, the fish and chips, the bigger the chip, the less oil, the more of just potato. Potato for me, white potato.
Yeah, starchy.
Starch just sticks in my gut
and adds to that
wherever
binding effect,
it is. Yeah. It could be like anywhere through it, and it's a furball for me.
Yeah.
So if it's fries and it's very, very high oil, I can...
Yeah, that's right. McDonald's fries can be dangerous,
I don't get the apple pies. I get the minion pie.
Which is made up
caramel and banana.
Banana. That's why I call the minions. But I think it's a limited deal only at the moment at McDonald's.
That's going to be a problem for me.
Wish we were, but hey.
But no, I could eat an apple pie though, because... even though the gluten would make me feel a bit yuck,
and it does make you feel yuck.
Oil in it, guys.
So you do
oil will pass
restrict gluten, and you do reduce gluten. You try to avoid gluten.
If I eat a sandwich, guys, stomach cramps.
Yep.
I will get an impaction.
Yep.
Which is
not
fecal
just compaction,
impaction.
but fecal impaction. Yep.
I get a fever.
Yep.
I feel way more nauseous than even just my gastroparesis.
Yep.
I will get GERD.
Yep.
And I mean GERD to the point where you it comes right up again and again and back down again.
Yep.
To the point where your throat burns. So anyway, I just cannot do it.
Interesting, going back to childhood's period of time.
Yeah.
At school, excuse me. At school, thank you. Aspiration, darling. You would have had probably the same food through every year of primary school, I'm imagining, like I did too. I mean, I had sausage roll and a chopped milk, I think, for the entire high school, and I would have had a Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah, my friends used to think I was a dork because they said, really? Vegemite sandwich again? I said yes, but with cheese this time. And they'd be like,
living it up. She's living it up. Living wild.
No, it was mostly just Vegemite and butter.
Yeah.
That was my food.
Yeah.
From primary school to high school.
Do you have any, I guess...
School wasn't the same without a Vegemite sandwich.
Do you have any parting tips, I guess, for autistics struggling with restrictive and avoidant food intake disorders?
Okay, so if your OCD is doing your head in and you're counting calories, not for reasons of like weight loss, but you just, for some reason, the numbers are just going berserk in your head.
Yep.
Just talk to someone that you love and trust.
Have a conversation, yeah.
Another thing that can happen, eating in public. So social phobias for autistics.
Yeah.
We have a lot of phobias growing up as an autistic. Growing up autistic is
Wasn't
traumatizing.
a fan of eating in public myself, yeah.
And like one of my phobias, one of many that I've overcome, was eating in public.
Yep.
So speak to someone. There's always people that will understand.
Yeah. Or if you're a parent or caregiver, a family member or a friend,
if your
be observant as well.
If your daughter is extremely shy, anorexic, or just very conscious of her food, very picky with her food, consider autism.
Absolutely.
Consider looking at
it's
autism
an entry path into diagnosis to look at.
I'm not saying that go and get them tested because they must be autistic. I'm sick and tired of all of these people self-diagnosing. It's actually getting on my nerves now because it's going stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. We do not have that many brand new diagnoses coming up. I think we do have people with traits. I think we do have people with certain things going on for them in this current era.
Yep.
But I'm getting really sick of it because I think it's being blown out and it's not fair on autistics.
Yep.
But basically, consider getting the person examined for autism, which means an open-minded examination.
And to look at all of the different attributes and aspects of what autism actually
because,
means,
you know, most autistics, especially as females, because they yet haven't got a criteria for us, you need to be
separate
at least about
diagnosis.
30 to get a proper diagnosis, to be honest, because some of it could just be immaturity unless you had
social awkwardness,
low functioning autism as a child like I did. Then you know for sure, okay? But if you're high functioning and you're an adult, unless you're heading like you're right on the cusp of your 30s or you're 30 and above, I'd be cautious with the criteria. It hasn't even been set for females yet. However, do look at Tony Atwood because his accuracy.
The Australian guru is a psychologist, clinical psychologist who specialises in female autism. Absolutely. So I guess as a finishing point of food, it's okay to eat the things that you're enjoying, your favourite type foods, to not stress over the whole thing.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, if you know that your weight is like scaring you, what I used to do, I've always done it ever since I was a teenage girl, is yes, buy those donuts and eat 12 of them because you know what you have to do to compensate for what's going on. But don't not address the underlying issue.
Right.
So like I said, speak to someone you love and trust.
Yeah.
Have an open on all of your phobias to do with anything.
I hope today's conversation has helped someone
food is this one.
out there indeed. Give us a big thumbs up. If you've got comments, questions, ideas or suggestions, leave them below.
Well, I'm saying like even if it's other issues like texture issues, you know, your family has a Sunday roast every Sunday.
Routines.
And you're struggling with certain components about the roast dinner. Have a conversation with your family, one of the family members, to say, like, I'm not trying to be difficult, so how can we prevent it and can we work together? So, for example, for me, I would be like, oh, mashed potato, no, Mum, no, because my palate. You give me mashed potato that was like, she would slightly roast it, as in like she would pre-cook it, slightly roast it and serve it up with the chops or something, compared to mashed potato and the chops, or silver side and the chop. Silver side of the mashed potato, compared to silver side with chopped up potato that was kind of cooked.
Sure.
Talk to your parent or talk to your family about that kind of thing and say, the mashed potato for me, I struggle with, and explain in depth why, so that they understand you're not just being a pain in the neck, but that you are worried about your weight, you're worried about your eating, you're struggling to eat because of these barriers, and you might not even be aware. So maybe do a diary.
Yeah, good idea
and
as well.
just speak to people.
Well, all of that is actually food for thought. Use of fun. Hey, something to think about. Guys, if you haven't subscribed already, do so now. Hit that notification bell. Join us in future episodes.
Cheers.
And cheers. We'll
it's
see
a weird
you
one, I know, but it's mine.
Exactly. It's okay to be yours.
You don't have to like what this is.
It's yours, indeed.
Banana
all right, guys.
would be good on top.
I see. It would.
Do we have banana?
No, we don't. But we've got a lot of bananas. Does that count?
That's not the same thing.
Doesn't count? Why not? Anyway, bye, guys.
Bye.